Who jumps out of perfectly good airplanes in the name of science? Mr. C.
Well, happy Aloha Friday to you, and woohoo! I've got my stocking cap on today. I am celebrating. Why? The jet stream has dropped south, or it's going to. And I just noticed for you snowboarders and you skiers out there, Snow Bowl over the next week to maybe 8 days, so is supposed to get 1 to 2 feet of snow. Pretty cool. White Mountains, maybe a foot of snow or more, and they have snow making capabilities, I think, both of those ski resorts. So how cool is that? And then for those of you that don't like the cold, like me, so we'll shoot out to Hawaii really quick. And you're looking at a photo of my favorite Hawaiian island, the island of Kauai, and this is in the Ke'e Beach area if you've been out to Kauai, on way around on the other side near the Kalalau Trail. Kauai, it is so gorgeous, so and such an SSR. Well, anyway, so I have 3. I'm going to take this off because it'll make me hot. And put my other ASU hat on. Is my hat straight? I'm assuming. Okay, I have 3 RDJs for you. 3. These are Did You Hear Abouts, and they're with Stu and Lou. Did you hear about the man who walked all day and only moved 2 feet? Lou, no, I didn't. Well, that was all he had. Let's see the next one. Here it is. Did you hear about, did you know that it takes 3 sheep to make 1 sweater? Lou, I didn't even know they could knit. And this is the last one. Good thing too, huh? So anyway, you don't talk Mr. Phillip into turning off the video. Stu, did you hear about the absent-minded professor? Lou, what did he do? Well, he returned from lunch and he saw a sign on the door that said, back in 30 minutes. So he sat down and waited for himself. Absent-minded professor. So, aren't those amazing or not? Hey, I've got a little video for you at the end of the test. It's on the mimic octopus, a divine design. I've probably mentioned it to you before. I don't remember if I mentioned it first semester. Anyway, you can't use the mimic octopus as a divine design on the test. I have a bonus point for you at the end. You've got to do a nice job on both, and then if you get each half, it'll take the place of 1 point that you miss. So you might want to go for it. And then on the test itself, it's as advertised. I ask you the topics I said I was going to ask. So, and like all tests, it's a reading test. We teachers, sometimes when we write a test, we write our questions and we think, that really makes sense to me. But then students go to read it and they go, what was the teacher asking there? I don't really get what the teacher was asking. So that's one of the reasons Mr. Phillip is there to help as you're taking the test. So anyway, like all tests, they're reading tests. So read carefully, process several times, make sure you understand what I was asking. Then a little tip, if you don't know the answer, of course, give it your best shot. Put down your best possible answer. And if you look at it and go, I do not know the answer to that question, and then an answer pops in your head, good chance your brain is delivering the answer to you. So if you don't really know it, put that one down, the one that popped in your head. And then double check when you're finished. Make sure that I have students sometimes forget to fill out all of the questions. There's a back side, remember, not just a front side, it's front and back. So do both sides. Double check at the end that you filled everything out and that you have the right answers. And then don't even think about not putting your name, date, and period in the upper right-hand corner. Now, I've installed a new device. It's really cool. It's kind of like a mini satellite. So what it does is it looks down on the room, and as you are passing tests in, if you don't actually have your name, date, and period on your test, a squirt gun automatically aims at you and squirts you. Just a little reminder. Wish I had one of those, actually, to remind you all to put your name, date, and period on your test. So, be honest, sit up straight. Thou shalt not look to the left nor to the right. Okay? So just look at your own paper. So, Mr. Phillip is going to give you a tan sheet to help cover up your test. Keep it covered at all times. And then when you are all through, if you've got a leisure book, you can read it, or if you've got some homework in another class, you can read it. Otherwise, just sit quietly. So anyway, one last thing. When we're in a low jet stream and we get lots of clouds, including lots of stratus clouds, when we're like that, we can't look at the night sky. So when it clears up in another week plus, I have some night sky objects that for your viewing pleasure. So including the brightest star that we can see, and something going on with it, and then my favorite constellation, Orion. Okay, so I'm going to turn you loose to take the test, and then if there's time, I'll show you the divine design on the mimic octopus. Remember, you can't use the mimic octopus as an example of a divine design at the end. You can use it as a divine design example in your journal, but just not on this test. So have a great weekend. As usual, no weekend homework, and just enjoy that weekend. Relax, do some fun things, de-stress. So pray for lots of snow. So pray for super lots of snow. And for anyone that you know that's not feeling really well. So anyway, great weekend, Mr. Phillip.